Hello everyone, good day from wherever you're watching. You're all welcome to the Renewed Parenting. And my name is Choma Odikolo, and I refer to myself as a renewed parent, a masterpiece, and a work in progress. So you're all welcome to class today. So for some weeks now, we've been discussing about developmental milestones for toddlers. And I did say in our previous video, I decided to talk about developmental milestones for toddlers because I realized that most of us parents get overwhelmed, we get frustrated, and sometimes angry when we see our toddlers exhibiting some tendencies that are developmentally okay. So I thought it's wise to come teach us so we can learn and appreciate our toddlers the more and create the right environment for our toddlers to exhibit these behaviors that are developmentally okay, and for us to learn how to be patient with our toddlers. So today we're going to discuss about developmental milestones that relate to behavioral development in our toddlers. So we'll go straight right into the conversation of today. So what's the meaning of behavioral development? Behavioral development refers to the process by which our toddlers learn to interact with their environment, learn to manage their emotions, and build social skills. It has to do with the way our toddlers begin to see their environment, interact with their environment, interact with the people in their environment, interact with everything they can see within them, within their space. It also has to do with the way our toddlers get to manage their emotions by watching us, by seeing the way we parents manage our own emotions. And it has to do with the way our toddlers build social skills. At this stage, when we have toddlers, we begin to notice that our toddlers begin to imitate you. Probably you're making a phone call, and when you drop the call, you see that your toddler starts to imitate you. You give a particular instruction, your toddler imitates that instruction. They are trying to make sense of their environment. They are trying to understand their environments. When you start to see all this in your toddlers, it is developmentally okay for your toddlers to exhibit all these behaviors. And our duty as parents is to encourage them and create the right environment for them to thrive and to exhibit all these behaviors. When we also notice at this stage, our toddlers learn to take turns. You see, they begin to learn how to take turns. When they start to play some game, they learn that it is not yet your turn. You need to wait for your turn. Our toddlers at this stage begin to understand the difference between right and wrong. When you give them instruction and you tell them this is not right, this is wrong, this is not acceptable, our toddlers just begin to develop everything about their emotions, begin to form at this stage. They begin to learn, okay, they begin to understand, okay, I think I'm angry, I'm sad. When they throw tantrums, at this stage, you begin to understand that, okay, emotional development, I need to teach my child how to manage his or her emotions. So when we see our toddlers exhibiting all these tendencies that has to do with them understanding their environment, them building social skills, and, them learning to manage their emotions, we should understand that as parents, it is developmentally okay, and we're expected to come in then as parents to help our toddlers. So we're going to go straight. So what are some of the examples of developmental milestones that has to do with behaviors for our toddlers? Number one is imitation. At this stage, our toddlers begin to learn how to mimic us as parents, how to mimic other adults. At this stage, they begin to pretend to make a phone call. Sometimes you get your toddler using a toy phone to make a call. Sometimes you get your toddler using a paper or a toy or any craft they've made to make a phone call. You might just get them use different things to make a phone call. They are all trying to imitate us as parents, and it is developmentally okay. And all those things they do, it's very important for us as parents not to shut them down, because it helps them to build social cues. So the second example of behavioral developmental milestones is independence. At this stage, We begin to see our toddlers wanting to do things for themselves. You want to give your toddler a bath and your toddler tells you, no, I want to do it myself. You want to help your toddler wear his or her shoe and your toddler tells you, no, I want to do it myself. They want to eat by themselves. They want to pick their clothes by themselves. They want to wear their diaper by themselves. They want to take off their diaper by themselves. They just want to do things by themselves. They just want to exhibit that independence. So our duty as parents is not to shut them down. Our duty as parents is not to tell them, oh, don't do that. You cannot do it. I'll do it for you. No. Our duty as parents is to recognize, oh, I think my child is developing, it's developmentally okay, and we'll come in as parents to help, to support, and to guide our children. We allow your child to be independent, allow your child to do that task by themselves. Then when they are done, you can now come in and do it the right way you think, it's perfect. And the third example is tantrums. As toddlers, this stage, we're trying to see that our toddlers try to put up with some tantrum. You're telling your toddler something and your toddler is saying no. In fact, some toddlers even get to the point of hitting themselves on the floor. When they are angry, they throw things, they throw spoons, they throw plate, they throw whatever they are holding. It just beats themselves up. They just beat themselves up. At this stage, we can see that our toddlers are really struggling to express themselves. They are really struggling with their emotions. Do you get? It's sometimes they are frustrated. They don't know what to do. It is developmentally okay. So what are we expected to do as parents? When you see your toddler throwing a tantrum, you come in and help your toddler. You don't also throw your own tantrum. You don't also start to hit yourself and start to shout and we will throw our own adult tantrum. No, it doesn't help the situation. It's just for you to recognize that it is developmentally okay. It is appropriate. And what do? We come in and help our toddlers. Then the other example is sharing and taking turns. At this stage, it's difficult most times to see toddlers share. Sometimes you find out that your toddler doesn't want to share with his or her sibling. Our duty as parents is not to shout on our toddlers, it's not to tell them, oh, why are you stingy? Why are you greedy? Oh, this child does not like to share. No. Our duty as parents is to recognize that it is developmentally okay. This child does not understand how to share. Don't force your child to share a toy. What we should do is to teach our children to share and to model, to encourage them to share. That is our duty as parents. Then the other example is following simple instructions. Our toddler at this stage, they begin to learn how to follow simple instructions. Maybe you tell them, sit down, don't play with this toy, play with this toy, it just begins to tell you that your toddler is understanding, your toddler is developing, in the right behavior. Then the other example of behavioral development in our toddlers is expressing preferences. Our toddlers at this particular stage they begin to express preference of what they want, preference of clothes to wear, preference of book to read. You want to read a particular book for your toddler, and your toddler is saying, no, I don't want this one. I want this one. I don't want this one. Your toddler is just showing preference. It is developmentally okay, and we shouldn't shut them down. Then the other example of behavioral development is empathy. As our children are growing, they begin to learn how to develop empathy. Even if you notice that your child is not empathetic, it's okay. What you should do as parents is that you should come in and teach the child. That is our duty as parents. Then the other example of behavioral developmental milestone is curiosity and exploration. At this stage, our toddlers are exploring. They are exploring their environment. And if you're a parent, you can attest to it that at some particular stage, you just begin to find out that your toddler does some kind of thing that in your head you are thinking, oh my God, why is this child doing this? They want to touch everything. They want to touch every plate. They try to, when they put water in a cup, they want to turn the water. They want to turn the cup the other way. You just want to explore. Most times we are not so patient. I'm also learning. I'm also on this journey. Most times we're not so patient with our toddlers. We're not patient to listen. We're not patient to hear them. But our duty is to be patient. Wait and see, what does my toddler want to do? Why is he even pouring his tea? on the floor? Why is he even pouring this water on the floor? What is he even doing? Let me even wait and see. Our duty is to be patient because they are understanding their environment. They are making sense of the things around them. They are making sense of the people around them. So we should be patient with our toddlers, and we should know that all these things are developmentally okay. You're not encouraging them to do these things. You're not encouraging them to spill water or to spill tea, but you're just giving them an opportunity to see what does this child want to do. And when they make a mistake, you now come in, teach and guide. That is our duty as parents. So it's expected for us as parents to be able to see these cues, these little examples, these little things our toddlers do, and not to just react immediately. Most times it's difficult not to react immediately, but we should just be patient with them, and come in to teach and to guide. Now, we're going to look at what are some of the importance of developmental milestones as regards to the behavior of our toddlers. Why is it even important? Why is it even a thing? Why do I need to talk about it? Why do I even have to allow my child to do all this? Why is it so important for my child to develop in a behavioral way? Number one, it's a foundation for them to build social skills. Behavioral development helps our children to learn to interact with others. They begin to learn sharing, they begin to learn taking turns, they begin to learn empathy. It just helps them to develop in a social way. They begin to learn how to discuss, how to have conversations, how to relate with other toddlers. So it's very important for us not to overlook the behavioral development of our toddlers. The other importance is emotional regulation. Through behavioral development, our toddlers learn to understand their emotions. They learn to understand the particular emotion they feel per time and how to manage that emotions. So our duty as parents is to teach our toddlers how to manage their emotions. But how can you teach when we are also struggling with our emotions? How can we even teach when we need to also teach ourselves? So we have a lot of work on ourselves to do. So we have to, learn to manage our emotions first so our toddlers can see what we are doing and learn to manage theirs. Then the third importance of developmental milestones for the behavioral developmental milestones for our toddlers, it helps our toddlers to build cognitive growth. It helps them to imitate, it helps them to learn to take turns, it helps them to learn to make sense of their environment. They learn to understand, they begin to understand cause and effects, consequences. They begin to understand all this. That is what behavioral development does for our toddlers. The other importance is language development. Behavioral development helps our children to build language, because the more our children relate with other toddlers, the more they build social skills. The more they build social skills, the more they are able to relate with language, the more they are able to interact in their own way, the more they are able to have conversations in their own way. So it's very important for us to know that language development, which is very key for everyone, is something we should not overlook. It's something we should encourage our toddlers to start to do. When you see them start to make efforts to communicate, don't shut them down. Don't tell your child, I don't even understand what this child is saying. What is this child even saying? No. It's about the process. It's a journey. It's not about perfection. It's not about how perfect they are in speaking or having conversations with us. It's just for us to understand that it's a journey. I need to help my child to build the skill of language development. And it doesn't matter if my child is still learning, my job is to follow and see my child through the end of the process. Then the other importance is building independence. Behavioral development helps our children to build independence. As I said earlier, your child begins to exhibit some form of independence here and there. They want to do things themselves. They want to eat their food. They don't want you to feed them. When you're cooking, they want to climb the chair and want to cook with you. They just want to do things by themselves. It's developmentally okay, and it's very important because these are the skills they need. They are just the rudiments, the foundation of the skills they need to thrive in life. So our duty as parents is to encourage and not to discourage. Then, another importance of behavioral development is that it prepares our children for school, because behavioral development helps them when they begin to develop their social skills. They learn to cooperate with other toddlers, they learn to manage their emotions when they go to school, they learn to understand their environment. The environment of the school, the environment of the house is different from the environment of the school. It just prepares them for life, it prepares them for school. So it's something that we should not overlook as parents. It's something that we should take cognizance of and help our toddlers to develop in that area. Then the other example is or the other benefit of the behavioral development is long-term impact on their behavior. These behaviors our toddlers are exhibiting or building at this stage, they are just like foundation. They are just like building block, precept upon precept. It's just like you're building upon each other. These are the skills they need to thrive in life. They need this behavior. They need to learn how to manage their emotions. They need to learn social skills. Even most of us adults, we are really struggling with social skills. Most of us have to intentionally go on a journey of improving ourselves, improving and working on our social skills. We are struggling with social skills. Then what more for our toddlers? So there are skills they need in life. So all these are just basics of what they need, the behavior, the skills they need to thrive in life. So our duty as parents is to understand that it's so important for them to develop in this way, and for us to encourage them, provide the right environment for them to explore, to develop in the right way. Then what are some of the examples? How can we come in? How can you as a parent come in to help your toddler develop, build this developmental behavioral developmental milestone? What can I do? We've talked about the importance, we've talked about the examples, we've talked about what behavioral development is. So how can I now come in? So I'm going to share with us some ways we can come in as parents to help our toddlers develop in a behavioral way, developmentally okay, to build the skills they need to thrive in life. Number one is to model positive behavior. Our toddlers learn by watching us parents. The truth is that parenting is all about modeling. We can't even do without modeling. You have to model the right character you want your toddler to do. You cannot model something and teach your child another thing. You have to model the right values. You have to model the right behaviors. You have to model kindness. If you want your toddler to be kind, you have to model it. If you want your toddler to have the right values, you have to model it. Not just saying, you have to live it. If you want your toddlers to have good manners, you also need to have good manners. If you want your toddler not to swear, you don't also have to swear. If you want your toddler to use the appropriate words, you have to use the appropriate words. You cannot use inappropriate words. You cannot be swearing when you're discussing with other of your friends, or you're on the phone, you're swearing, you're cursing, and you're teaching your child not to swear, not to curse. We have to model what we want to see in our children. If you want your child to be respectful to you, respect your child as well. Respect other people. If you want your child to be able to manage his or her emotions in the right way, you or we as parents have to model the right emotional management as well. We cannot be throwing adult tantrums. We cannot be shouting all over the place. Maybe we're having conversations with our spouses, we're shouting, we're nagging, while yelling, and we want our children not to do the same. Obviously they are going to do the same, because our children learn by modeling. It's just like a sponge. They soak up everything in their environment. They do more of what they see than more of what we tell them. So as a parent, you or we have to model the right behaviors for our children. We have to model the positive behaviors for our toddlers if we are intentional, if we really want to help our toddlers. Then the second way we can come in to set clear boundaries and consistent rules. Toddlers thrive when they have consistent rules and boundaries. For me personally, this is one area I know that I need to work on, which I'm already working on. I'm not perfect, I'm not there yet, but as I said, it's about the process, it's the journey, it's the intentionality behind it. We have to set consistent boundaries, consistent rules. The child should be able to know, when am I waking up, when am I saying my prayers, when am I eating, when am I going to bed, when are we going to church. It's not that you're going to bed at 8 o'clock today, tomorrow you're going to bed at 11 o'clock. You're eating at 1 today, tomorrow you're eating at 2. The child is not, it causes stress for our toddlers. Our toddlers thrive with consistency. So it's something we need to look at as parents, to build consistent structures in our home, consistent boundaries in our home. Even we as parents, we need to be consistent. Even me, we need to be consistent. We need to have boundaries. We need to have consistent rules. When is the time for what? It should be stated, and every member of the family should understand. Even when you have visitors coming to your house, your visitor should be able to understand with that boundary. It should be able to keep to that boundary and that rules, so that our toddlers are not stressed. They are not all over the place and throwing tantrums. Do you get? So the other way as parents we can help our toddlers is to encourage independence. We should allow our toddlers to make choices for themselves. Sometimes it might not be right based on our standard, but give them an opportunity to try. Don't shut them down. They want to wear their diaper by themselves. Okay, go ahead, put on your diaper yourself. They want to wear their inner wears and their clothes by themselves. Go ahead, put it by yourself. They want to wear their shoes. Go ahead, put it by yourself. Then when they are done, you can now come in and say, okay, please, can I help you? Your shoe is not properly done. Can I help you do it in the right way? Can we wear it in the right way? Can we put on our dress or our inner wear in the right way? Allow them to be independent. Allow them to be independent. Don't take out this independence from our toddlers. It's our duty to even preserve this independence, because even most of us as adults are even struggling with independence. So you can see your toddler, your toddler is just exhibiting independence. Allow the child to be independent. That is our duty as parents. Then the other way we can come in is to use positive reinforcement. Use praise, use reward, reinforce your child. Don't always be the parent that always look at the bad. You're looking at when your child is throwing a tantrum, when your child is not doing the right thing. Those little things they are doing that are good, why don't you appreciate them? Your child has shared his toy or her toy with with her brother or her sister. Why don't you say, oh, thank you for being kind, thank you for sharing? Your child has helped you put on your shoe, probably bring your shoe. Probably you're going and your child quickly gets your shoe and brings it to you, so you will wear. Oh, why don't you say thank you for doing this? Little things our toddlers do in the house here and there, they should not go unnoticed. We should notice them, because the more we promote these positive things, the more we promote the little things, the more our toddlers are motivated and encouraged to want to do good things for us, to want to do the good things that we always teach them. So don't always look out for the bad, rather look out for the good. Encourage the good more, and you find out that your toddler will be so excited and motivated to want to do good things around the house. Then the other way we can come in as parents is to teach emotional regulation. It's our duty as parents to teach our children emotional regulation. It's our duty as parents to teach our toddlers how to manage their emotions. But how can we teach when we as parents need to go on a journey of managing our emotions? So it's a reminder, it's a call to us as parents that we need to understand our emotions. We need to understand how to manage our emotions. Then we can talk to our toddlers about it. Do you even understand the emotion you feel per time? Do you understand that sometimes you're angry? Do you understand that sometimes you're sad? Do you understand that sometimes you're disappointed at yourself or at someone or at your child? Do you understand that sometimes you're frustrated? Do you understand that sometimes you just feel in a certain way, you're overwhelmed? You have a deadline at work, you have so many things around to do, you're overwhelmed, you're just tired, you're sleepy, you're hungry. Do we even understand the emotions we feel per time? So it's a call for us as parents to go on a journey of understanding ourselves, understanding our emotion, because when we understand the emotion we feel per time, we can now know how to, how to solve or how to work on that emotion. Because when you understand you're angry, you can now begin to say, okay, anger, where is it coming from? You now know how to walk back. Do you get, like, reverse engineering? Walk back and see, how can I sort out myself? How can I control, regulate, and manage my emotion? So it's our duty as parents to teach our children emotional regulation. When you see your toddler having a tantrum, having a meltdown, don't go and start shouting when the toddler is having a meltdown. You are now shouting, oh, will you get up from there? Come on, will you get up from there? That's what most of us do. Why are you shouting? Why are you crying? We're not perfect. Even me, I'm not perfect. I'm learning. I'm on a journey. It's a work in progress thing. But our duty as parents is that we should go in. You can see your toddler struggling with a particular emotion. Go in. You can give the toddler a hug. You can say, okay, I can see you. I can see you're angry. I can see you're just tired. Are you hungry? Do you want to talk about it? Do you want to calm down? Do you want us to sing? Do you want us to dance? Sometimes it's not easy. Sometimes it's difficult because we might be stressed coming back from work. We have a lot of things to do, but we need to teach our children because these are the skills they need to thrive in life. If we don't teach them as toddlers, they might struggle later on in life. So it's better we teach so they don't struggle later on in life. And another way we can help our toddlers is to read together. Reading books about emotion. Reading also builds focus. Yes, our children learn focus by reading. Our children even learn sharing. There are some books you buy that talks about sharing, that talks about taking turns. So, what is that attitude, or what is that thing you want to teach your child? You can get a book that talks about it. Do you want to teach your child about controlling his or her emotion? Get a book that talks about emotions. Do you want to teach your child about sharing? Get a book about sharing. Do you want to teach your child about taking turns? Get a book about taking turns. Do you get? Discuss the stories, discuss these characters, ask your child questions, and you find out that you're just on a journey of helping your child build the skills they need to thrive in life. Then the other way as parents we can come in is to be patient and stay calm. To be patient with our children and stay calm. Sometimes it's not easy. Oh my God. Sometimes it's a lot of work. But the thing is that being aware that we should be patient, puts us on the spot that, okay, I need to be patient. Sometimes you might flip here and there. It's okay. But realizing and coming back to the drawing board and starting and continuing our journey. So we should learn to be patient with our toddlers. We should learn to stay calm when they are throwing tantrums, when they're having emotional meltdown. We should learn to be patient with them. Then the other way as parents we can come is to create a routine. Set consistent routine in your home. Set consistent structure in your home. Then the other way and the final way I have with us as parents we can help our toddlers is to practice problem solving. We should teach our children how to solve problems. Allow your child to think. They can think. They have brains to think. Don't always be a parent that always rescue the child. You answer all the questions at the first instance. Your child is asking you a question. Ask the child, what do you think? What do you have to say about it? We should give them room. We should give them opportunities to problem solve. We should find ways, find questions. You're going out, you're on a walk. Ask your child, why is this thing here? Why is this thing here? Just give the child an opportunity to problem solve. So as parents, we have to understand that it's very important for us to implement all this. It's very important for us to create the right environment, the right structure, the system for our children to develop in the right way. I believe you've got value from this class. Thank you very much for your time. I believe you've got one thing or two to continue and to work on your journey. Please like our video, share our video, and please subscribe to our channel called The Renewed Parenting. Thank you very much and do have a good day. Remember to pick up one thing and implement, and remember to be renewed in your minds. Thank you so much and have a great day. Bye.